let us look at an example for two sample case. So in this example, we want to compare two types of cigarettes for their tar content. So the question is, at the 5% level of significance, do the two brands differ in their mean tar contents? So in this question, the variances for the populations, sigma 1 square and sigma 2 square, they are not given. So along the way we have to estimate them, and also the sample size, they are very small. So pretty much since the sample size are very small, so the initial populations has to be somewhat normal, or at least kind of very close to normal. Okay, and also now we have those two methods we discussed in previous videos. So we have to use one of those two methods. Okay, so let us look at the very first method. So in the very first method, so here the degrees of freedom is approximated by this formula, and we are simply replacing the sigma 1 square and sigma 2 square by the s1 square and s2 square. Okay, and so here this one, so this is a two-tailed test. Do they differ? Which means two-tailed test. So we want to test whether mu1 minus mu2 equal to 0 or not. So the sample T, the sample mean for these two samples, and this null hypothesis value, and the s1 square, which is 2, and s2 square, which is 3, and n1 and n2, 6 and 4. So this value will give you that minus 1.345. So the degrees of freedom coming from that approximate formula is, so it's going to be, so use that exactly that formula and put those values into that. So these values, that will give you exactly, when you simplify it, is going to be 5.5959. So you need to round it down rather than round it up. Okay, so when you round it down, so this is going to be 5. So the degrees of freedom is going to be 5. So from the T distribution, so now at 5% level, alpha is 0.05. So this is a two-tailed test. So you have to have two rejection regions, 0.025 to each side. So with this many degrees of freedom, look at the T table. So the T table will give you this value. So there are two cutoffs below this minus 2.571 and above 2.571. So the rejection region is this or that. So if this value is in here or in there, so you reject the null and accept the alternative. So here in this case, this value is happen to be in between. So you cannot reject H0 and accept HA at 0.05 level. In different words, the test is not significant at 0.05 level. Alright, so the p-value, to figure out the p-value, you need to set your cutoff right on that value, which is that value. This is the T distribution with degrees of freedom 5 coming out of this formula. Okay, so since this is a two-tailed test, so this area plus this area, the area to the right and that to the left, 2 times basically this area, is going to be the p-value. So so you need to read your T table as close as you could from the T distribution with this many degrees of freedom. So you already know how to read the T table. Read it as close as you can. So it's pretty much, it's going to be, so this part is going to be half of that and half of that in between those two values. So when you double it, you get this and that, okay? So it's going to fall into between two values on the t distribution with this many degrees of freedom. So it's very much in between. All right, so that's p-value is going to be from 0.2 to 0.3. So it's coming from the t distribution with degrees of freedom 5. So now for the part C, so you want to find the 95% confidence interval for the difference between those two means, mu1 minus mu2. So here is the formula, x1 bar minus x2 bar. The t-table values comes out of the t distribution with degrees of freedom 5. And this one S1 square and S2 square with the sample sizes. So put all this information into the formula, so that will give you that. All right. So the confidence interval, 95% confidence interval, is going to be from here to here. So actually this part A you could have done even using this, because now this is a two-tailed test, part A. This is a 95% confidence interval. So you are trying to see whether this phi value, the 0 value, the difference, we are looking at the difference, okay? The null hypothesis value 0, that 0 got to be within that. If that is within that, you cannot reject H naught. See that 0 is in between here. So therefore you cannot reject this and accept that at 5%. Okay, so this is 95% confidence interval. You remember that? So therefore your conclusion, basically the test is not significant at that level. Okay, so here is the answer. But here for the p-value you cannot get out of that though. All right, so the second method is that the other method, this one, assuming the equal variances. So the pooled estimate method. Okay, so assuming, so this got to be correct. So most probably, by the way, this may not be correct. The reason is that this S1 square is an estimate for that. This S2 square is an estimate for that. So 2 and 3 here, they're kind of far apart. So most probably this may not be true. But later on, towards the end of the book, there's a test for that. You can check it also. Okay, but right now we don't know those things. So most probably this may not be true. So anyway, I'm going to assume it correct and then do it anyway. Okay, but most probably you don't want to rely on this result. So get the pooled estimate for the common variance, SP square, is coming out of this formula right there. Okay, so the common estimate is put those values. S1 square, sample size minus 1, this formula, okay? So that right there will give you this one, SP square. So once you get that, what you are doing is that, so the degrees of freedom n1 plus n2 minus 2, which is 8. So into this place and this place, you are putting the same value, SP square. That was our formula, see, right there. Okay, so you are putting exactly the same thing here as well as here, common estimate. Okay, so that will give you, so this is that will give you this t value. That's different from the other because we are doing under this assumption now. So here this value, but the thing is that now the degrees of freedom is 8. You got to take the t-table value from the degrees of freedom 8. So it's going to be that. So this value is still in between here, not in here or on here or here, not in the rejection region. So you still cannot reject H naught and accept HA at that level, even if you use that, okay? So the test is not significant still right now, even with this test. So here the p-value, so you need to set your cutoff right on that value. And then you need to use the t distribution with degrees of freedom 8. So if you look at the t curve with the degrees of freedom 8, this area, you will see that from the t distribution is going to be 0.1, and that means that 0.1, or the middle part is going to be 0.8, okay, 80%. Whatever the way you are reading the t table, read it, and this part is 0.1, this part is 0.1, or the middle part is 0.8. So the p-value is 0.2. It's referring to this shaded area, okay, because this is a two-tailed test. So if you are interested in the 95% confidence interval, the same thing. So here you got to take this value from the t distribution with the degrees of freedom 8 and 95%, which is that, and this is, we are using the pooled estimate for both places. So that will give you these two. As before, if you wanted to, you could have done this piece with that. All you have to look at is that whether the 0 is in here, okay, because we are trying to see whether there is a difference, 0. So 0 is in there, in that interval. So therefore, so you cannot reject H0. So pretty much this part is the margin of error, okay. So by the way, what are the assumptions? This method, this is one of the big assumptions. That got to be correct. Otherwise, this is not correct. At the meantime, for both methods, in general, these are very small samples. So the initial populations must be normal, all right? But the thing is that actually this method somewhat works quite well, even if the initial populations are not really normal, but if it is approximately normal, this might work well, this method, okay. The thing is that in general these are so small, so because of that initial populations got to be somewhat normal, okay. So those are the assumptions, but for this one, if you are doing it this way, so that got to be correct, or you need to at least say it at the end. So I would rather do this one, this question this way, okay. So that is that. So I will start in the next example in the next video.